The table is full of Christmas cheer, so we gotta fix this bad boy on the floor. The story behind this one is the music turns on, it's just the disc doesn't rotate. And I was assured that the batteries were fresh, but I've been assured of a lot of things. So let's check it out. Looks like they're here. Yeah, 1.51, that's enough. Usually you want 1.5 volts. Yeah. They're all good. Okay, now we gotta keep digging. Good God, there's like 20 screws. Looks like they're all Phillips. These are shinier than the others. They might be a little bit different size. Let's get to work here. My brain's gonna get carpal tunnel from boredom. It's like 2008. This thing's pretty freaking old. Oh, I can feel that archway given. Must be being held together with those four in the middle. Oh, we got some wires here. And it looks like there's a little connector. Actually, what the heck? Before we do that, I want you to check something out here. So when I was taking it apart, I kind of remember that I didn't hear the motor wind up when you played the music. You'd expect that if the motor was supposed to come on, the motor would spin up. It didn't. And this has like a... This does have a capacitor, which probably ramps up power in order to turn on the motor. Looks to be a direct drive motor, which means gear based instead of belt based. I wonder if it doesn't look bad, but let's see if that cap is still okay, because maybe it's just as simple as that.
While slightly imprecise, an ESR meter is capable of testing a capacitor while it's still connected or in circuit. The desirable measurements for this 25 volt 100 microfarad cap is less than 0.32. Because the tested value is higher, it leads me to believe this capacitor is not at peak performance. Now we'll compare that to a fresh, young capacitor with the same ratings, and we find the ESR value to be much lower, which is a good thing. Now you don't have to have one, but I'll use this solder vacuum to remove the old, tired capacitor.
Let's see what kind of readings we get here. So still well above where we want to be at the 0.32. Okay. Maybe this will be all we need to do. Couple things to note. The white wire is on the inner side, and that's also, these capacitors are polarized, and so the ground, wherever you see the negatives, is on that side, and the blue wire is on the other side.
Using a needle nose pliers, I'm going to bend the spread legs down at a right angle to facilitate a more elegant install.
Okay. Let's see if that makes any difference. The hell are... Okay. Battery. Oh my gosh, why don't you just roll right in there, huh? Okay, the music works. Oh, baby!
When you're at the zoo, monkeys, zebras, elephants, lions, tigers too. You'll hear lots
We got the
of
turntable
animals
working
making
again.
different sounds. Roaring, singing. Don't you think it's cold in here? The penguin doesn't know. This is how I like it.
I don't know why that feels so good. So really, all it was this little cap, I guess. You know, thinking about it, a 16-year-old capacitor on a device that's made for children. Most parents will get this for their kids and they don't expect to be using it 16 years later. It makes sense to use cheap parts, I guess. Alright, I'm thrilled. Let's put her back together. If nothing else, just because it's good practice. This is resin core solder. So let's make sure to get the flux off. Really, this should be good for quite a long time, actually. Line these buttons up. Oh, what the? Oh, the center doesn't want to really go down. I do kind of like, as I'm placing it back together, I do like to periodically test it, because stuff does happen.
You'll see lots of animals when you're at the zoo. Monkeys, zebras, elephants, lions, tigers too. You'll hear lots of it.
Yeah, everything's good. Let's keep going then. Don't ever screw these things in too tight either, because this is just in the plastic. Sometimes you even want to do a quick unscrew before you actually screw it all the way in. Plus it can crack the plastic, especially if it gets cold or old.
Odd, really, how this little component could have just about ruined a kiddo's Christmas.
For those of you that are troubleshooting as well, this is sort of like the power button. You'll notice after you've hit this once, this will change the song. But it'll only do that once. If you hit it again, it doesn't change the song. That's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean it's broken. And then this is the only way that you would actually be able to stop it besides flicking the actual power button. Or hitting your sound effect button. Then it'll abruptly go into that sound effect mode. And then stop. Also, this does not do anything functionally. There's no electronics connected to it. It's just a simple noisemaker. Doesn't adjust speeds or anything like that. This disc rotates, and then there's a spring action it's very weak. And that's intentional. It doesn't get any better than that. There's nothing mechanical with this. No electronics at least. Or that. Looks like it might be a Merry Christmas after all. God. Oh my gosh. The